As we all know, the Skyline Valley update has been a blessing from the Bethesda gods for more than one reason. Today, we'll be diving into one of those blessings, the V63 Olga, which is hands down the best unique laser rifle in Fallout 76. This is awesome because laser rifles in Fallout 76 weren't worth fucking using at all before this, but now you could finally use one without feeling like a fucking useless moron. Now, before we talk about this weapon and dive into testing and what makes this gun so fucking good, let's talk about how you can get this bad boy. Unfortunately, unlike some other guns in this expansion, to get this gun, you may have to sacrifice a goat or two to the dark RNG gods. This baby has a 4.5% chance to drop from Neurological Warfare, the new nuke event. Another gun drops from that event too, but it's nowhere near as good as this sexy German killing machine. Now, one of the reasons why this weapon is able to output so much DPS is because of the fucking mods and effects that it comes with, and it comes with some pretty killer fucking mods. It has the Vicious Capacitor, the Aligned Automatic Barrel, the Stabilized Grip, the Reflex Circle Sight, and the Beam Focuser Muzzle. Plus, being a 3-star legendary, it packs 3 amazing legendary effects. Well, 2 amazing, 1 which are the anti-armor. That is the best one on this roll so far, and you'll be able to see in the footage that anti-armor definitely helps out with stronger enemies, super mutants, and the scorch beasts. The 25% damage while aiming, which is not the best, but it could be worse, I guess. You know, if you don't use VATS and you aim in, you get that little extra damage boost there. And an awesome 15% faster reload, which again helps with that DPS. And this isn't really a mod, but since it is a automatic laser rifle, you can boost its damage through the commando and science cards, which are pretty fucking awesome. This is similar to the pepper shaker. I know that that's a huge turn on for a lot of players out there. Now, let's continue going down the list of positives that I have for this weapon. If you've seen any of my other weapon reviews from this expansion, you know I love all of their aesthetics, and I even just love the aesthetics from this entire expansion. The weapons look great, and the atmosphere of the expansion is fucking amazing. And of course, the Olga nails that. It looks fucking amazing and adds significantly to the feel of the weapon. It makes it actually feel like you're using a unique laser rifle and not just some random fucking laser rifle. And as I mentioned earlier, this thing has some pretty good rolls. Not god rolls, but I mean, it's really good for a fucking laser rifle, surprisingly. I mean, at least 2 out of 3 ain't that bad. You know, the anti-armor lets this motherfucker shred through tougher enemies like super mutants and scorch beasts, and it just turns lower level enemies or lower defense enemies into complete fucking jokes. And then the 25% aiming perk isn't the best, but it definitely does help if you are not a VATS user. If you are a VATS user, it's completely useless, but the anti-armor and the reload speed are definitely fucking awesome. And again, this is a free, unique gun. You don't have to spend any stamps or any gold on it. So I would say those rolls are pretty fucking amazing. Thanks to the anti-armor effect, this thing pumps out insane DPS. That's another positive that I have for this weapon. Again, maybe not railway levels of DPS, but it's so fucking high for a laser rifle. I don't think, obviously you'll be able to get better, but I don't think you would want to waste all of the rolls on another laser rifle when you could just have this thing and it's completely fine. The anti-armor really is seen on this weapon and definitely helps a lot. It's been flawless for me. Every enemy melts when I try and use it on them. I promise you, I don't have problems with Scorch, and I don't have problems with Scorch Beast, I don't have problems with Super Mutants, and I don't have problems with Ghouls. Granted, I am using a Commando build, but no science perks, so you can get the damage on this thing to go even fucking higher if you have a min-max build. And like I mentioned, similar to the Pepper Shaker, you could stack damage boosts with this. Like, you could use the Commando and the science perks. I, however, am not using the science perks, and this thing could still output a shit ton of damage, and this is one of the weapons that are perfect for a min-maxing build. If you want to throw on as much damage as you can and sacrifice some other things, you could do that with this weapon. It's completely fine. If you just want to throw on 1 commando card and 1 science card, because that's all that you can, you'll still receive 2 equal damage boosts. And finally, just like most weapons from this motherfucking expansion, the number one thing that I love is that they are fresh and new. I love breaking from the meta, and this this baby can kill most mobs, and it can even go up against some bosses. It's not really the worst, it's not the best, obviously, for bossing, but it feels new, like a little baby, except this baby shoots lasers and turns enemies into literal dust piles. I definitely suggest just trying it out. It feels new, it's fresh. If you have a commando build or a science build, you'll make use of it. Now, for as good as this motherfucker is, it is still a automatic laser rifle in Fallout 76, so obviously it's going to have some negatives. I'm going to go over the smallest one first, which I don't really consider it a negative, but for some players, unfortunately, the rolls on this bad boy are final. So you cannot re-roll, just like every other gun in this expansion. You can't re-roll it to make it stronger, which sucks for those who love the skin but hate the rolls. I obviously don't mind that at all. I think it's supposed to be a unique weapon, and that's how it's supposed to be. So if you don't like it, go and roll another laser rifle and use that. I understand if you like the skin, but just throw it above the fucking fireplace, whatever. A lot of people I know like to re-roll the Elder's Marks submachine gun because it looks so good, and it kind of has okay rolls, not the best, but you could throw fucking a bloodied explosive and it becomes a lot better, and you have a cool, unique skin, which I understand, but sorry guys, for this one, you can re-roll it. So, just like most fully auto laser rifles in the Fallout series, especially in Fallout 4 and Fallout 76, this thing burns through ammo. It literally turns its ammo into dust, just like it turns your enemies into dust. Especially with that nice little reload speed boost, that doesn't help your ammo conservation in the slightest, because you're able to fucking shoot faster for, you know what I mean? You're able to fucking get more bullets out as fast as you can. It's not a deal breaker, but it's definitely tough for lower levels to maintain. If you're a higher level, it doesn't really matter. If you are a lower level, I suggest you just craft as many railway spikes as you can and use the ammo converter to turn it into fusion cells. If you're in higher level, you'll have enough fusion cells for it. It's not really that big of a deal, like I said, to throw this bad boy on and just have some fun with it. But as you could see in the footage, it does burn through fucking ammo like no tomorrow, so just keep that in mind. And of course, just like the other weapons in this expansion, it breaks way too fast. While I was recording, I probably played for about an hour just to get some footage, and it broke twice. There are perks to help with that, but it's annoying, especially again for lower levels. However, if you are a higher level and you're a little bit of a veteran and you want to actually use a laser rifle and get away from the meta for mobbing, with the right cards and repair kits, it's easily manageable. I mean, it's really, I didn't have any perk cards on it to help with it when I was filming this, but again, it's extremely manageable. It's not the worst thing in the world. It doesn't break as fast as the Railway or the Tesla, the Bertha, but it definitely does break fast. It's an automatic laser rifle. They have pretty low durability, and the automatic definitely doesn't help it. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, now let's dive into the nitty-gritty and see how this bad boy performs against some mobs. Basic mobs like Scorch or Ghouls, this thing fucking shreds them like no tomorrow. Equip it and watch the faces melt. It's extremely accurate, like a fucking actual laser beam. Haha, get it? It's a laser rifle. It shoots laser beams. Of course it's going to be accurate. Tougher enemies like super mutants, no problem. Again, like I said, the anti-armor and the reload speed increase helps keep that DPS flowing. You really won't have a problem with it, as you've seen in this footage. If you have a VATS build and you target the head and you use criticals, you'll be able to shred through tougher enemies because the anti-armor, and then obviously lower defense enemies because it has a pretty high damage output. I'm getting a decent damage output with only the commando perks. Again, it's really that anti-armor roll that helps the DPS so fucking much. Now, against heavily armored foes like the Scorch Beast, Grafted Monsters, and Snallygasters, specifically though the Scorch Beasts, it slows down a little bit but still gets the job done in a few mags. Snallygasters, Grafted Monsters, you can basically shred through in one mag still, but Scorch Beasts, you'll need to reload a few times, but it's solid against mini-bosses. You really don't need to switch to a Fixer to take down a Grafted Monster or a Scorch Beasts. When it comes down to this gun, you could just leave it on, VATS onto him, take it down like it's no problem. I promise you won't really have an issue with this bad boy. And the reason why you're able to do so much damage against those heavily armored foes is because of that anti-armor roll. I promise that, along with the reload speed, are god tier and could really help you out, especially if you're low level. Now, let's jump into raid bossing. I don't really recommend that you use this thing against raid bosses like the Queen or Earl. If you're lower level, obviously, and if you have the opportunity to get this thing, and if you're using it in bossing, fine, don't switch your gun, continue to use it. It may just be your best choice depending on what level you are. But if you are a higher level, chances are you probably have a railway or a fixer or a god roll handmaid to output more DPS than this thing in bossing. For regular mobbing, though, it's a great choice that won't leave you feeling outclassed. For bossing, raid bossing, if you are using it and you're a higher level, if you have a railway, obviously switch to your fucking railway. You'll be able to output more damage. This gun, it's good though. Great for normal mobbing. I promise you, you'll love it. Not the best for raid bossing. And again, even going up against mini bosses, you won't feel outclassed using this gun. So, obviously, as all you motherfuckers can tell, this gun won't break the meta, but it's damn fun. For lower levels, it's a great stepping stone until you snag a decent fixer or handmaid if you're going with the automatic rifle build. But it won't really match a railway for bossing, obviously. But for mobbing, again, it's a blast and a refreshing change from the usual meta. It works well with VATS or without it, which is rare. VATS builds will excel with this baby, and even without VATS, you'll tear through enemies with pinpoint accuracy. Again, this thing is like a laser beam because it's a literal fucking laser beam. Give it a try. If it doesn't stick, at least hang it up on your wall. It looks and fucking feels amazing. Now go out there, run some nukes, and get this bad boy. Let me know what you guys think about the Olga in the comments. Let me know if you guys want this gun in the comments, and let me know what you guys are thinking of the Skyline Valley expansion in Fallout 76. I hope everyone has some happy hunting out there, and as always, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Until next time, stay safe out there, Wastelanders.